In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a living from betting on sports. Now let's jump right into it. First thing off, people always think that it's not realistic, that you can't make a living betting on sports. And the reason why everybody thinks that is because 99% of the people out there cannot make this happen. All right. And the reason behind that is not just because of, having the wrong strategies and stuff like that. It really just comes down to usually not having enough money and not understanding the process of what you got to put all together to be able to actually do this for a living. But I'm going to go through that with you guys in this video and show you guys exactly what it takes to really think that you have a shot at doing this for a living. Now, the first thing before we get to anything else, this is the most important thing, and it's having money, right? Because you need money to make money. So your bankroll, this is what your bankroll needs to be in order for you to even think you have a shot at betting on sports for a living. All right, so if you have a $10,000 bankroll up to a $100,000 bankroll, that is the bracket that you need to be in to think that you can quit your job, 9-to-5 job, and be able to do this for a living. If you don't have that type of bankroll, you cannot quit your job. You cannot think that you're going to do this for a living. Yes, you maybe can do it with a secondary source of income if you have less than a $10,000 bankroll. But I get people all the time that come to me and they're like, Frank, I want to do this for a living. First question I ask, how much of a bankroll do you have? Well, the answer I usually get, I got $500. I got $1,000. Well, listen, you are not going to do anything for a living with $500 or $1,000. That's not going to happen. All right, you have to be able to get that through your head, because when it comes down to it, it is just a numbers game. If your bankroll is $10,000, just think of this. You have to bet 5% of that bankroll. You have to, if you want to try to do this for a living. Now, if you have a $25,000 bankroll, $50,000, or $100,000 bankroll, you don't have to bet that much. You don't have to be 5%. You could be within that 3% all the way to 100,000. You could be at that 1% threshold. All right. But to do this for a living, your bankroll needs to be either $10,000 all the way up to $100,000. Now, what is the unit size that you need? All right. I said the bankroll portion of it, but you need a certain unit size for this as well. And the minimum unit size is $500 per bet. All right. That is going to be the minimum that you need to be able to put down to be able to think that you can replace your income and actually do this for a living without any other money coming in each and every month. Now, remember, I said you could do this with $10,000 betting at 5%, which would make a $500 unit size. Now, that right there is so risky. All right, that is one of the most riskiest things you can do when you're coming into this game if you want to do it for a living. All right, because the emotions you're going to go through at betting 5% of your bankroll on each bet is going to be crazy. So you have to be mentally sound to even be able to attempt that. Now that we got that out of the way, I want to address what you need to do as in sportsbook wise. All right. You need to be in a state that has access to multiple sportsbooks. Okay. I hate to tell everybody this, but if you live in a state where it's not legal and you don't have multiple sportsbooks and you just have maybe 1, 2, or 3 offshore sports books, it's going to be a bit tough to try to make this work. Now, you could take a shot at it if you have offshore sports books, but I can't guarantee that you will be successful just having, 3 sports books, because you need multiple sports books. The reason why is you need to be able to split your unit size up so you don't get banned and you don't get shut down by them, because you will. If you're betting $1,000 unit size, $500 unit size, and you're consistently winning, they are going to ban you, they are going to limit you. So you have to understand that. You need to have multiple sports books, and on top of having multiple sports books, the reason is because you need to understand that the odds can differ on each book. All right. And when you're betting a higher unit size, the odds really come in and really matter. All right. The reason why is because if one BetMGM has minus 150 on a play, but yet Caesars has it at minus 130, well, you're going to save a lot of money by going over to Caesars and having access to Caesars. Now, I see this a lot with a lot of people that come to me as well, is they just don't understand how important it is to have all these sports books, because they think they could just do it with 1 or 2 sports books. You need to have multiple sports books because you have to be able to line shop. You have to be able to find the right numbers. When you're betting a higher unit, I'm telling you right now, the difference between a minus 150 and a minus 130 is actually pretty big. When you're betting $20 a game, it's not that big of a difference. But when you're betting a higher unit size, yes, that could cut into your overall profits for each month. So make sure you have access to all the sports books that are available to you. If you live in a state where there's 15 or 20 sports books, you should have an account with every single one. It doesn't cost money to make accounts, so you should make an account with every single one. That way you have your options open and you can line shop, and also you could spread your bet up between multiple sports books when you are betting a higher unit size. Now let's talk about the strategy portion. The strategy portion, you need to understand, is not going to do with parlays. You're not going to make a living betting doing parlays. It's just not going to happen. All right. You can think that all you want, but I'm telling you right now, from experience, that is not going to happen. So you have to take that right away. Take it out. All right. You're not going to be parlay betting. You're going to be doing mostly straight bets. That's what it comes down to. Now, the strategies that are in place for that, you need to have that are proven to be able to be profitable. Because now if you don't have the strategies in place that are proven to be profitable, you have no idea if you're going to turn a profit in that month, or if you're going to turn a profit in the next month, or if you're going to turn a profit in the season that you're betting. Now that right there is a gamble in itself. So you need to understand that you have to have the right strategies in place to be able to do that. Now, if you guys want my strategies that work month in and month out, all you got to do is go down below and click the description. Now, it's so important to have those strategies in place because, like I said, you have no idea if your strategies work or not, and there's no way of knowing how much money you're going to make and how much you can expect to make, how many units you can expect to make. There's no way to know that if you don't have the right strategies in place. And people ask me, well, what proves to be, a good strategy? How long does that take? It takes a couple seasons to know if a strategy that you're doing is correct and is actually going to make any money. It's not something that just works 1 or 2 weeks and guess what? I got a good strategy. I'm going to use this. That's not how it works. You need to understand that the strategy that you're using is proven, all right? And if it's proven and you can go back 2 seasons and see that it worked 2 years ago, that is where you need to be at, all right? You can't just think that you're going to come into this, do it for a living. Yes, you have the bankroll, you got the unit size, but you have no strategy, all right? Your strategy is you're just developing it. You can't think that, all right? Because if you do, you're going to fail. It's another thing that you're going to fail at, is if you don't have the right strategies in place. And you need a strategy for every major sport, all right? This is very important. Every major sport you need a strategy for. Now, even the WNBA and tennis and soccer and stuff like that, you need a strategy for that stuff as well. Now, the reason why is because during the summer, for example, during the summer, pretty much baseball is the only thing that's rolling during the summer. But if you have a WNBA strategy, then you can implement that in the summer as well. And if you have a tennis strategy, that's pretty much year round. So you could use that year round. Same thing with soccer. That's year round as well. You can implement that. So you need to have strategies for all major sports and even secondary sports. So that way you have a arsenal that you can use throughout the whole entire year to be able to pull profits each and every month. Now, the next thing that's important is consistency. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. It's consistency. Just with anything in life, all right, is being consistent. But I like to tell everybody this. When you go to your job every single day and you've been consistently doing that for 5-10 years, you are a consistent person. Everybody has it in them. You just have to adapt it to the right things, all right? Now, if you're trying to do this for a living, you need to be consistent with putting those bets in and doing your research and putting all that stuff in. You have to. It needs to be every single day. You got to do maybe once in a while when it's a slow day during the summer, you can take a day off. But other than that, through birthdays, holidays, everything, you have to get your stuff down. All right. You have to treat it like a job, like a business. If you're not going to do that, do not even start. All right. I will just tell you that right now. Do not even start if you're not going to treat this as a business and you're not going to treat this as another job. Don't start, because if you start, guess what? And you screw up 1 or 2 days or 3 days and you screw up, it could doom you for the whole entire year. All right, I know, because I've been there. So you need to understand, being consistent is very important. As long as you can stay consistent with your betting throughout the whole entire year and understand that you need to do this every single day, no matter what comes up, then you've put yourself in another level above everybody else again. Because being consistent just in sports betting is pretty much unheard of from a lot of people. A lot of people just like to bet when they feel like it. They just like to go on the weekends or whatnot, and that's it. But if you want to do this for a living, you need to treat it like you're going to do it for a living, as in treat it like a job or a business. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and this is where everybody falls off the wagon and fails, is the mentality and the emotions that are going to dictate your entire year trying to do this for a living. All right? This is not something that's easy. If it was easy, nobody would be working jobs and everybody would be betting on sports. It's not easy. This is a 1% deal, all right? Only the 1% are going to be able to actually pull profits and are actually going to be able to make money. Now, your emotional control is huge, all right? Because the ups and downs that you will occur throughout a whole entire year are crazy for a human being. I know, because I'm there every single month, all right? So you need to understand that some months you might lose. Just think, you might work the whole entire month and you might get all your bets down and get everything in, and you might actually lose money. That's like going to your job for a whole entire month and the boss says to you, hey, I need you to pay me $1,000. Not gonna feel good, right? No, that's gonna tear the average human to shreds. But that is what happens sometimes. But then sometimes there's months where you make triple, quadruple exactly what your goal was, all right? Because now look at the opposite end. How about if you go to your job for a whole entire month and at the end of the month, the boss says, hey, I'm gonna give you 4 times the amount of what you made this month. Now the emotions have switched, right? You're gonna go through both of those, all right? That is the way sports betting is. So you have to understand, if you can control your emotions and you don't get affected at all, you don't get emotional, and you understand that I just gotta stick to the process and I just gotta keep going. That's it, just keep going and stay consistent. It'll work itself out, then you'll be successful. Because another portion where people fail and they fall off is losing, the emotion behind losing. Now, this is on the daily I'm talking about. So they have a losing day, guess what? They feel a certain way. You feel the emotion of like, you want to get that money back. You start chasing your bets. Next thing you know, you're emptying out the tank, you're emptying out the bankroll, and just like that, you have no money left over and you've completely doomed yourself. And guess what? Now you got to go back to work because you doing it for a living is completely off the table because you went and blew everything because of your emotional state. So you have to understand that to be successful in sports betting, to be able to do this at a high level, to do this for a living, to be a 1%er, you have to have everything that I just told you put together and it has to be mastered. All right. And it's 100% possible because I show you guys it is every day, every month. All right. I show you guys how possible that is. Those of you that do watch all my videos and stuff like that. All you have to do is be able to put in the work and you have to be mentally sound and you have to just put it all together. Once you put it all together and you've mastered everything, guess what? Now you're living the good life of where you can enjoy watching sports and pulling money from it each and every month. All right. And also, like I said, guys, if you always want to fast forward through the strategy part and you want me to just do it all for you, all you got to do is click the link down in the description and you can work with me one-on-one. And guess what? We could be making money together and I show you guys exactly how you could do this for a living. As always, guys, I'm Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, I'm out.